As you're no doubt aware, a lot happens on Capitol Hill as Congress works on a variety of issues. We sent Cattlemen to Cattlemen reporter Russell Nemitz to the Hill to talk with those directly involved in the decision-making process. Russell?
Well, Kevin, as we know out here in rural America, agriculture is still a strong economic driver nationwide and helping to ensure that our farmers and ranchers stay in business and keep that driver alive and well for years to come ultimately depends on a strong farm bill for not only farmers but also for ranchers. And we're lucky enough to have on Cattlemen to Cattlemen today the chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, the chairman, Mike Conaway out of Texas, and work really is already underway, drafting and creating and making sure that 2018 Farm Bill is right for everyone in farming and ranching.
Well, Russell, thank you. You're exactly correct. We've been at it for 2 years and 9 months now, trying to prepare for what will happen over the next 3 or 4 months, we think, in terms of the House version. But the real reason it's important, in addition to production agriculture and the impact it has on rural America, the real issue is the cost of food to the consumer. The American consumer has the most abundant, safest, and affordable food and fiber supply of any developed nation in the world, and that's because the hardworking men and women in production agriculture, sweat equity, risk-taking, and reliance on a safety net provided by the ag policy that keeps them in business in hard times. And so the real beneficiary is everybody in America who eats or pays for somebody to eat, and so they should be the ones that are supporting this issue, in addition to the terrific impact it has on production agriculture's viability as well as rural America.
You know, Congressman, the audience of this program predominantly is producers in the U.S. beef cattle industry. I mean, what are some of those big ticket items in the Farm Bill that you guys are putting together in hopes of meeting the needs of beef cattle producers across America? Well,
it's pretty straightforward. We're going to stay out of the livestock hair as much as we can so that we don't mess with you guys. So obviously, having the indemnity programs for livestock is important. The one area that will impact is potentially would be the creation of a vaccine bank for foot and mouth disease for livestock. That's not anywhere right now. It would be new money that we're going to have to come up with, but the need for it has been demonstrated over the last couple of years in our hearings and conversations we've had with folks. So it would be something we'll try to fold into the Farm Bill if we can. But the other areas would be cotton and dairy, as well as the county ARC payment system that's in play. But the main thing for livestock would be the foot and mouth disease.
You know, back to that FMD vaccine bank, if you will, I mean, how important, how critical maybe is the better term to phrase it in having this funding included in the Farm Bill so it's readily available, because a lot really is riding on keeping our domestic livestock herd, whether it be beef or pork, and sheep for that matter, healthy.
Well, you always want to be, not be accused of being penny wise and pound foolish, but an outbreak of any scope, any size of foot and mouth disease would be very expensive. And so trying to put in place a vaccine bank that could try to get ahead of an outbreak is really important. And like I said, it's new money, new programming. Some conversation about how broad a bank you need, how many of the various variants do you need to have in the bank at any one point in time. There's good work going on out of Kansas State on this issue as well that might at some point in time in the future alleviate us of part of that constant renewal. If you put the vaccine bank in place, it has a shelf life, and that shelf life has to be refed every single year. And so finding a solution to that would be important as well. But stay tuned. We don't know how much of a food bank, a vaccine bank we can get, but clearly the need is showing up.
How important is it for members of Congress like yourself to actually hear from beef cattle producers or even, other producers of other commodities when they make the effort to come back here and tell their story directly to you? That really does matter.
Well, it does. The studies show that the biggest impact any member has on their decision how to vote or how to not to vote is direct contact with constituents. There is no substitute for looking your member of Congress in the eye, explaining to them how important something is or isn't, the impact it would have on them if you take a particular direction. So helping educate members on what they're about to vote on, helping them understand the consequences if they go a different direction is really important. And quite frankly, the most pivotal and impactful thing that with respect to a member. We get letters, we get cards, we get emails, all those kind of good things, and lobbyists certainly, but folks from back home looking their member in the eye is really important.
Yeah, and if they can't make it back here to Washington, D.C. and do that directly, I know In years past, when work starts and continues through the process on a new farm bill, I mean, you guys always make it back home to your home districts and have farm bill meetings and hearings and that sort where they can come to you back home.
Well, it is a mistake to think that you can only approach your member of Congress on a policy issue in D.C. Quite frankly, the best place is back home. You'll have more time. It's not quite as frenetic a pace. We've done 6 listening sessions around the country, heard from some 340 plus producers and others interested in what goes on within the farm bill. It's a great opportunity for us. But yeah, when you find a member back home, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm home, I'm on the clock. So if somebody sees me in the grocery store or at a restaurant and they've got a burr in their saddle, I try to encourage them to come and talk to me and visit about it. Now, my family's discovered that they should go ahead and eat the meal at the restaurant, but no, every member's on the clock back home. And so if you see a member, take advantage of the opportunity to express whatever it is that's on your heart with that member, because contacts back home are probably more important than even up here in D.C., because you do have a little more time to sit and listen to someone as opposed to racing off to the next meeting or the next hearing or whatever that's going on here in D.C.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time for us on Cattlemen to Cattlemen and passing on, as always, some pretty sound advice to not just ranchers and farmers, but even for the rest of us.
Well, thanks, Russell. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, Kevin, again, we've had the opportunity and the honor today of visiting with Texas Congressman Mike Conaway, who's also the current chairman of the powerful House Agriculture Committee. With that, we'll go ahead and send it back to you.